everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Amy and I'm currently on a journey to repay 6 figures worth of student loan debt. Every single month I share our monthly budget. These are our real numbers, and I share this to hopefully help you guys and just share what we are spending our money on and how we are maximizing our debt payoff. I also every single month share a corresponding video that goes with this video that is our budget closeout video. I will link our latest budget closeout video that I posted in the cards above if you are interested in seeing the format of that video as well. But that just goes over our actual spending and our actual income for the month. Obviously, the monthly budget is a forecast. We don't always know exactly what we will be spending or bringing in for the month. So I really enjoy doing that video to give you guys the whole perspective of our budget and how things change over the months. So today we're going over our November 2021 budget. Holy cow, I can't believe that we are almost in November and almost to one of my favorite holidays, which is Thanksgiving in the US. So super excited for this month. It is a pretty normal month for our budget. We do have some extra income, and I also wanted to talk a little bit about holiday spending this budget. So we have our regular salary income. This is just what my husband and I bring in from our day jobs. We both work full-time, and we are expecting $7,000 this month. Again, it is a pretty normal budget for us. If you watched my October budget, we did have a 5th paycheck in that budget. So that was a little bit of extra income, but we are back to pretty much normal this month as I expect. So we had our salary, and then we also have the child tax credit. So that is $550. So that is the only income that we are expecting. Typically, we do get side hustle income every single month as well. However, I do not budget for it in this video. I do go over that in my budget closeout video. So I never count on that money because, again, it is just extra and the amount varies significantly every single month. So I've just found that this is the easiest way to do it. And that brings our total income for the month of November to $7,550. So that is what we're going to be working with this month. So down to fixed expenses. The first fixed expense we have is our mortgage. This will be for December 1st. We are budgeting $1,284 for our mortgage, which is our regular mortgage amount. We do live in the Midwest. That is a question that I get a lot. We live in Wisconsin. All right, so cell phones, that comes out on the 20th, and that is $140 for both my husband and I's cell phones. Then we also have Netflix, which is one of the only subscriptions that we have kept. We've definitely cut back a lot on our expenses over the last couple of years, and that includes getting rid of a lot of subscriptions that we previously have had in the past. We also have a Peloton bike, so we do pay for that subscription, which I believe comes out, yes, on the 2nd, and that is $41 for that. We also have our internet, and that is $60. And then we do have two additional, or actually we have one additional in the fixed expenses category that I will go over. So that is our Disney Plus. We do have a Disney Plus membership. However, we do pay for it annually. So that is not a line item that you see every single month. We do just pay the annual fee. And I believe that is $75. I have a note in my budget that I wanted to, or in my planner that I wanted to go back and check this amount because I'm not sure. I think I just rounded up. I think it might be like 73. I'll have to look at our checking account from last year, but I'm just leaving it at 75 for now because we do round off our numbers in our budget anyways. That is so that we can continue to build up our buffer in our checking account. So we do just round off our numbers anyway. So I think that's why I had 75, but I feel like it might be a little bit cheaper than that. And the last expense we have is preschool. So my daughter does go to a part-time preschool program. We do pay this weekly. It's $131 a week. So it's $524 for the month. So actually it might be a little bit less than this month. So we do get some vacation credit for her daycare, and we are actually using hopefully 2 of those days in November, one for Thanksgiving, and I actually have off of work on Veterans Day. So I will probably be using 2 of the vacation days, but I don't necessarily want to account for that yet. I'm not exactly sure. It's still a new daycare to us, so I don't know exactly how they do the discounted days for the vacation, so I'm going to budget the full amount, but in our budget closeout for November, you probably will see a less amount, hopefully. That would be awesome. So this is just, worst case scenario if we have to pay for the whole month, but I do, hopefully we will have a little bit of a less expense for this month. So that brings our total fixed expenses to $2,139 for this month, and that leaves us with a remaining of $5,411. So then we just bring that up to our variable expenses. So these are things that typically change month to month and also just our spending. So first we have our electric bill. So October and November bills are typically some of our lower bills, but I'm still gonna budget $200. That's probably a little high, but I do just prefer to be on the higher end than the lower end because I wanna make sure that we have enough. And sometimes, I don't know, it kind of depends on the weather, and it's been crazy around here lately. It's been like warm one day, cold one day, and I feel like we're kind of all over the place. So I'm just gonna budget $200 for that. And then we also have another bill that we don't typically have every month, which is our water bill, which is quarterly. So we do only pay this a few times a year. And I believe this comes out on the 22nd. I do have a note that I need to check that. I think it's a little bit different in November because of the holiday. So I am budgeting $225. This is a bill that is very difficult for us to budget because it is a quarterly bill and it's kind of hard to gauge how much water we're using. I feel like we have in the past been like all over the place from like 175 to like 380. I don't know. It's just crazy. I can't tell you exactly what it'll be, but I'm guesstimating based on our last November water bill that it'll be around 225. So I'm hoping that it will be less, but who knows? It might be a little bit higher. Typically those really high ones, like the 300s, are typically in the summer when we're using like, the sprinkler for the kids or watering the grass or, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of all over the place. So I'm just guesstimating as best as I can for this bill, and that's kind of what I just have to do for that. We don't typically get that bill until like right before it's due, so I unfortunately can't see what the amount is yet, but we will just budget that and move on. So next we have our personal spending. So my husband and I both get $50 a month. We have personal checking accounts that we deposit that $50 into, and then we just spend it on whatever we want to spend it on. It's not tracked. It's not accounted for in any other way. I sometimes will save it up for something if I want to purchase something larger, or I will also sometimes put some of it into our M1 brokerage account. I've been really enjoying just kind of investing for fun on that platform. So if you're interested, I always do have a link for M1 below if you want to check it out. But that's kind of what I do with my spending money. I usually either save up for something bigger or I just invest it as I want to. Or I spend it on food, to be honest, or coffee. So that is our personal spending, $100 for the month. Then we have our gas, which is our like car gas for our vehicle. We've been budgeting $125. That has been working out great. I am still working from home primarily, so that has been a good amount for us. We honestly don't drive too much, especially now that we're getting into the winter months. We don't drive as much. November is actually a little bit of a different month for driving because we do typically go to see family for Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking we will probably be on like the upper end of the gas this month, but I'm not budgeting anything additional because we don't drive like super far for family. So yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with for this month with the holidays. And again, groceries, we did bump up our budget last month, which worked out great to $550. I am not hosting Thanksgiving, and I have in the past. So I did just want to mention that because obviously November, there's a lot of things that you're going to be wanting to think about when you do your November budget, like food, additional food costs if you are hosting, or any additional hosting costs, additional gas, or anything else that would surround the holiday in November if you do celebrate Thanksgiving. So definitely something to consider. However, something that we are not necessarily having to consider much this year because we are not hosting. I am pregnant, and so I was relinquished of my duty of hosting this year, thankfully, by my family. So someone else will be hosting Thanksgiving for us this year, which I so appreciate because I do not think that being 7 months pregnant and cooking a turkey would be very much fun. I am already like running really hot, and so cooking all day does not sound super fun to me, although I do normally very much enjoy hosting. So our miscellaneous budget is $200. That is just what we normally have for that budget, nothing additional. And our last variable is dining out. We do $200 for that as well. I'm really hoping that we can stick to that, because obviously with the holiday, I'm hoping we will, have some leftovers, and that will help with that budget significantly. So I'm really hoping that we'll be under budget in our dining out, but that is something that we really struggle with every single month, because especially as I get more pregnant, the thought of cooking does not sound super appealing to me most days. So it has been a struggle the last few months. And I know in the next coming months, it will be even more of a struggle as I get more pregnant and then eventually have my baby. So something we are just trying to be conscious of. So that leaves our total variable expenses to $1,600, definitely on the higher end for us because of this additional quarterly water. So we are working with a little bit less extra money this month, unfortunately, to put towards debt, but that's okay. And that leaves our total remaining to $3,811. So then we're going to work on our sinking funds. So we do fund 5 sinking funds typically. We fund our car, home, Christmas, kids, and vacation. So our Christmas sinking fund is one that is definitely being utilized right now. Obviously, we are coming up to the Christmas holiday if you celebrate that, and so I have been diligently planning and purchasing Christmas gifts already. I do typically try to finish my Christmas shopping by like the first couple weeks in December so that I can truly just enjoy the rest of the month and not have to worry about Christmas gifts. So that is just kind of how we handle our Christmas as a family. So I am still contributing to this sinking fund. I do, year round. So that is just something that will continue to roll as we spend and then replenish a little bit of that. So I'm actually doing something a little bit different this month, and I am funding these less than I normally do. So for a few reasons, and I will kind of talk about next month as well, just some of the budget changes that we will have next month. So I think my home and my vacation typically get a little bit more than this. However, if you've been following me, obviously we are still on a debt-free journey, and we are really trying to get our debt as low as humanly possible by the end of the year, just because again, I'm pregnant. I just want to be done with the debt. And that is honestly just our hugest priority right now. It is really like our sole focus. So I kind of sat down with my husband when we were discussing this budget initially before filming this video, and we talked about just cutting back on our sinking funds a little bit, which I think will be really helpful. So we just decided to cut back to $50 each. We're still funding them, but especially like our home and our car sinking funds, those are really well funded right now, as well as our vacation. And we have no vacation plans in the near future, and we have like $2,000 in that vacation sinking fund. So that is just something that, we don't really need to heavily fund right now. We did actually have a canceled vacation in 2020. If you've been around for that long, I talked about that a little bit last year. We did have a canceled vacation, so a lot of that $2,000 is from that vacation that we did not get to go on in 2020, and we've just kind of been spending it a little bit here and there. But yeah, we don't need to fund the vacation fund super heavily right now, so just putting something in there, but not a main focus. And also, I did just want to mention, in our December budget, I most likely will not fund sinking funds at all. We're kind of toying with that, so definitely stick around for the December budget to see what we end up doing. But I'm thinking our December budget is going to be like bare bones and throw every single penny at debt, because December will also be kind of like how October was. December is a 5th paycheck for us, so we will have additional income in December, as well as I usually get an annual bonus in December, so it will be a high income month for us most likely. And so in order to really just finish the year off strong, I'm thinking that we will probably completely cut the sinking funds next month. Anyways, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight on what we are doing for the rest of the year with our budget and how things might be changing a little bit. I just want to mention that because I do get a lot of questions on that. And that is just what our plan is for right now. So that leaves us with a remaining of $3,561, which obviously we know where that's going. That's all going to debt, sadly, but happily, because that is a great debt payment. Super excited about that. So we do typically try to send about 50% of our income to debt. So we really, over the last couple of years that we've been on this restarted journey, have been trying to live only on my husband's income and send my entire income to debt. So that has been our goal. Obviously, some months it doesn't happen. This amount is about 47% of our income, so it's a little bit short because we did have some of those additional expenses this month. However, 100% of our side hustle income goes to debt, so that typically is able to push us over the edge of 50%. Just wanted to mention that as well. That is where our budget is at for November. Let me know in the comments down below if there's anything that I am forgetting about for November. I hope not. I feel like I agonized over this budget quite a bit trying to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But if you see anything blaringly obvious, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you have started your November budget yet and how the end of the year is looking for you. What are you focusing on? I'm super excited to start 2022 and to get my goals started for next year, but just hoping to end this year strong. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.